Here, some of them are working 2 jobs. There's very little time to give you the right chance in life. So do you give thanks to your parents? And as Anh Do said, do you give back to other people? More than any other generation in Australia, you have access to the world in a way that's never been seen before. You have instant communication. You can find out what, where and how in seconds that took the previous generations hours and hours and days to flog through places like Monash University to find a book that when you did get there it was already borrowed out and that was bad luck. So when you wrote your work you just didn't cover that piece. Nowadays you can go to the web and you can find whatever it is that you need at your fingertips. But there are some other things as well that you face going forward. You're not going to have a job for life. I remember my father saying to me, how can you possibly change jobs? You're a teacher, it's secure, it's safe. You have 4 young babies, what are you doing? How can you change and go into business with all that risk? And he'd worked in the same job for his entire life. But the statistics say that those young people in front of me now will have 5 different jobs by the time you're 35 years of age. So what we're educating you for at St Anthony's is not just a job. We are educating you for the changes in life that you're going to face, and most of all, we're educating you for change. Interestingly, you are smarter than previous generations. On the whole, you're taller than previous generations, stronger, fitter. At the same time, you may not realise, but you have shorter attention spans. You need more mental stimulation than any other previous generations, and you're very many more times likely to suffer from stress, depression, and mental illness. And by the time all of your students in front of me finish year 12, on average, 40% of you will have experienced some form of a mental health problem. That's a very large figure. So while your life may be easier with all the gadgets and technology, the stresses on you are greater. The stresses to perform are greater. At St Anthony's, I challenge you to not only remember all that you have received, but live a life that places kingdom values above worldly values. I challenge you to give back to those who have gone without to provide you with an education. So thank a teacher. A healthy life and a happy home, thank your parents. And the Christian values that you are going to need in the world you're going to go into, because it certainly doesn't have a lot of that at present. Your Christian values are going to guide how you deal with that change in your career. The 5 changes you'll have before you're 35. I come back to Anh Do, The Happiest Refugee book. He talks about his speech night at school, and he writes this. I was in the running for the maths prize. It was a big occasion in the school hall. We were all dressed up and everyone's parents were there. They announced 3rd, not me. They announced 2nd, not me. Finally, 1st, Anh Do. Sensational, I thought to myself. I got up to collect my award, and as I made my way to the stage, I looked back and saw my father get to his feet and give me a standing ovation, all by himself. Everyone saw him stand up, and they probably thought he was going to look around and go, oh, I'm the only one standing up, and sit back down again. But I knew better, not my dad. I knew he didn't give 2 hoots for what others thought. He was going to let his son know how overwhelmingly, beamingly, incredibly proud he was. As I stood up on stage to have my photo taken, I looked down at the audience and thought to myself, my dad's a legend. So think back to what I was saying. Have you thanked a teacher for where you are? Have you thanked a parent for where you are? Have you thanked our fathers for helping guide your spiritual development? Or do you just take it for granted? Remember, your education is a partnership. You cannot do it by yourself. The further you move towards the VCE, the more you will understand this. A partnership requires giving. And in the words of Anh Do, as you grow up, make sure you do as much as you can to give back. And tonight is a great opportunity for you to not only receive the rewards and success of your year, but also to thank those people around you that have helped you get to where we are today. So thank you very much for listening to our words. I hope they'll stay with you for at least tonight. That would be good. Thank you. I'd like to call Mr. Angelico Juresco to explain the awards. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Underwood. Before I just do my brief bit, which is just an explanation of the awards we're going to be presented with tonight, I'd like to get the Year 7 to 9s to come backstage. But just before you move, with some instructions. You're going to come up stage through the door here, go backstage and line up, and when you're finished with your awards, go back the same way as you came up. So the Year 7 to 9s, please go backstage now. Then it can place out. And we'll start speaking now. Okay, I'll just explain the awards that we're going to be presenting this evening while they're moving backstage. The first lot of awards will be 7 to 9, and there are similar awards in Year 10. And those awards comprise 4 types of awards. There's a Christian Education Award, and this is awarded for their performance in the subject Christian Education at the various year levels, and the award winner is nominated by the Christian Education teacher. There are the Academic Awards in Years 7 to 10, and this is based on the students' performance in their assessments to date, and these are voted on by all their subject teachers across those various year levels. There's a Citizenship Award in Years 7 to 12, and this recognises a student who is a good citizen of St Anthony's in that they are courteous, polite, hard-working, respectful of others, and this award is voted on by the subject teachers right across the secondary school. There are Encouragement Awards, and this is in recognition of a student who has worked hard, shown improvement over the year, and is voted on by the subject teachers. And there are also ESL awards at some of the year levels, and this is awarded to students who undertake the ESL literacy subject, and this is voted on or nominated by the ESL teacher. So those awards are largely in Year 7 to 10. In Year 11 to 12 we have subject awards for each subject. These awards are nominated or granted by the individual subject teachers, and they're based on the achievements the students have done academically in that subject over the year, and are generally awarded to students that perform high and show some excellence in that subject area. The George Harrison Award, which is perhaps one of our the most prestigious award, is for the best all-round student in secondary. This is the student who best represents the ethos of the college by showing respect for others, which includes their peers and their teachers, a strong commitment to their studies, who is courteous, hard-working and supportive of others, and this award is voted on by all staff in the secondary school. And the last award that I'll talk about is the Dux of College Award, and this award is very simply the student that achieved the highest enter score in any particular year. So the student who achieved the highest enter score last year will be the Dux of College for 2009. So that's a brief explanation of the awards, and we'll go on to the awards program